Please join me in welcoming Senator Marco Rubio.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm sorry they made everybody stand for the pledge out here on the ground. You were sitting, but I appreciate it very much. Thank you for introducing me. I want to welcome all of you, and thank you for being a part of this town hall. I look forward to answering your questions. I answered a bunch of questions not just a few hours ago on a stage in a different state, so it's great to get up early or leave early and get up early to be with you here today and to be a part of this extraordinary experience, this humbling experience of being able to run for President of the United States. First of all, on my first day in office, I'm going to take the oath of office. That means I'm going to put my left hand on the Bible and my right hand in the air, and I am going to swear to uphold the Constitution. And unlike our current president, I'll mean it. Then when I get to the Oval Office, I am going to repeal every single one of Barack Obama's unconstitutional executive orders. Every single one of them. And we're going to protect our environment, but we're not going to do these crazy EPA rules that are destroying jobs. And we're going to protect the Second Amendment and the right of every American to be able to defend themselves. The next thing I think we need in our country is dramatic change in our own government. And look, the founders gave us the power to take control of a runaway federal government. It's called a Convention of States. It's in Article 5. It doesn't have to be an open-ended Convention of States. It can be very limited to do three things that I think are very critical. And as president, I will support these three things. And here's what they are. A balanced budget amendment so that you don't inherit 20, 30, 40 trillion dollars in debt. And term limits on Congress and on members of the judiciary. We're going to reinvigorate our economy. Look, the jobs that are being created right now don't pay enough money. They don't pay enough. And you know why they're not being created here? Because we've become too hard and too expensive for those jobs to be created. We now have to compete with dozens of other countries. And they're going there instead of here. You know why? Because our taxes are too expensive. Because our regulations cost too much money to follow. We're going to fix that when I'm president. We're not going to leave it the way it is. We're going to bring our debt under control. That means we're going to save Social Security and Medicare. We're not going to disrupt it for the people that are on it now, like my mom. But Medicare and Social Security, it's going to look different for me and for the young people here than it does for our parents. Anyone who tells you different is not telling you the truth. If we don't do something about it, there will be no Social Security or Medicare by the time you retire, even by the time I retire. And we can fix this. But what it will take is I'm going to have to retire at 68 instead of 67. And if I've made a lot of money, my Social Security is not going to grow as fast as people that made less money. And my Medicare money will be the option of buying a private plan that I like better. These are not unreasonable changes for people that are 25 years away from retirement or 45 years away from retirement. And if we do that, we can save these programs and balance our budget. We're getting rid of Obamacare and replacing it. This is not a good law. It's not a good law. When I'm president, you're going to be able to control your own health care money, whether it's a refundable tax credit or money from your employer. You're going to be able to use it to buy any kind of health insurance you want from any company in any state in America. If you're a young person, my brother-in-law is 29, he's single, no children, healthy, he thinks he's never going to die. So what he's going to do with his money is probably fund a health savings account so he can pay for primary care. But if he gets sick, he's going to have a hospitalization plan. But the choice is going to be yours, not the government. And we're going to fix immigration. I understand this issue, guys. I didn't read about immigration in a book. I didn't watch a PBS special on Frontline on immigration to learn about it. I lived it. My dad was an immigrant. My mom was an immigrant. My grandparents were immigrants. My community is all immigrants. My wife's entire family are immigrants. And this issue has changed. There is a group, a radical jihadist group, ISIS, that is using our immigration system against us. They have a sophisticated understanding of it. They are recruiting people who are posing as doctors and engineers and, you name it. Fiancés. They're looking for people that have visa waiver status. They're contacting trafficking networks in Latin America to get people in through the southern border. This issue, first and foremost, has to be about keeping ISIS out of America. And that's why when I'm president, if we don't know who you are, we have to know who you are and why you are coming. If we don't know that, you're not getting in when I'm president of the United States. And we're not going to have amnesty That's not the answer. We're going to enforce our laws. There'll be consequences for violating our immigration laws. Sanctuary cities are going to lose their federal funding. If you're a criminal alien, you're going to be immediately deported. And we're going to enforce our immigration laws. We're going to secure our southern border. I'm the son and grandson of immigrants. Enforcing our laws is not anti-immigrant. It is what sovereign countries do, and when I'm president, we will. And the last point is national security. That's the reason why we have a federal government. We have a lot of problems that we have to address in this country. But many of them don't have a federal government solution. But the one thing the federal government has to do is keep us safe, and today it's failing. It's failing in that regard. We're gutting our military. Our foreign policy is backwards. We're going to fix that. We are going to rebuild our military when I'm president. We're going to rebuild our intelligence capabilities. We're going to have a real war on terror, which means the best intelligence agencies in the world are going to find the terrorists. The best military in the world is going to destroy them. And if we capture a terrorist alive, they're not going to be read their Miranda rights or being given a court-appointed lawyer. They're going to be sent to Guantanamo Bay, and we're going to find out everything they know.